Well, just it's been a little bit since I've talked to you, at least. The transition, we've talked a bunch about the transition to playing more regularly, but how do you feel now? I think 8 games in, both you and Mo have made to playing at the MLS level this consistently.
Yeah, transition has been good. I think there was a lot of work to be put in last year to get ready for this point. But I think that once you get into the swing of things and you get into games, you become kind of more comfortable in those situations, and things just start to get rolling. So yeah, I think it's due in large part to the work we put in last year, but now we feel pretty good, I think.
What about last year? I mean, like, why does MLS Next Pro set you up for this success? Because we've seen now a handful of guys, and we're seeing kind of a younger group with Crew 2 now that could be that next group. What is it about that league, this team specifically?
Yeah, I think what really helps everyone develop is the trainings, but especially as a young player coming to the league, you don't always get the minutes, so not always able to implement what you learn in training into games, and MLS Next Pro is providing an awesome opportunity for kids to kind of showcase what they have and kind of implement the stuff that they learn potentially in first team training in actual game situations.
Do you still keep an eye on the younger guys that are now in Crew 2? I know it's only been a few games here, but have you kept an eye on that team?
Yeah, try to always watch the games online if they're away, in person if they're home. It's a fantastic group of kids, and I can't wait to see what's in the future for them.
What do you feel like the game against New England kind of showed you guys about where you stack up in the league, as that's obviously a team that people think is sort of at the high end?
Yeah, I think it was, I think it showed us that we still have ways to go. I think it was a very tough game, and I think we would have liked to kind of control the tempo and control the game a little bit more. The fact that we were able to get a point in the last couple minutes, I think was really beneficial for us mentally going into the next few games, but I also think that game, especially certain parts of it, showed that we have a long way to go before we become the team I think we all think we can.
What are the parts of it that showed the growth maybe that's needed?
Yeah, I think there are periods of the game where we were under pressure and we weren't able to kind of stay calm, put our foot on the ball, settle the game down, and I think they were able to dictate a decent amount of the game until the very end. So I think just being able to put together a complete performance where you're in control of the possession, the tempo, and everything, every aspect of the game is something we strive for.
Is that, coming off of the games that you played, was it eye-opening just to see kind of the difference in the top of MLS versus some of the teams you guys were able to control the game against?
Yeah, funnily enough, I think every team in MLS is very difficult to play against. It's never an easy 3 points or even a point. However, some teams I think have a very specific style of play that's very hard to play against. You have your New Englands, your Philly Unions, even your Red Bulls. They're difficult to play against, and it shows, and it's hard to pick up points. And so yeah, I think there is a difference, but then again, every game is hard.
And that's where you guys are working towards, right? I mean, you want to be one of those teams that has that difficult to play against kind of mentality for the other team.
Yeah, I think we want to develop an identity that's very hard to play against.
Completely different topic, but you guys have run multiple set piece plays this year. I'm just curious how much you guys spend on set piece work in practice.
I think it's, we do some work of set pieces in practice, obviously, but I think it's also kind of up to the individual liberty of certain players to kind of take initiative, and I think they're given the space to kind of try things and use their imagination. So we definitely do work, but it's also up to the players themselves.
Will, heading to Charlotte, obviously it's a challenge, usually a full stadium, good atmosphere. What kind of challenge does Charlotte pose to the group?
As you said, it's a kind of really big atmosphere, and the way we want to play and control the game, it's hard to do that away from home. But I think we treat every game, whether it's home or away, the same, and you're trying to go out and get 3 points, and it doesn't really matter the atmosphere. If you play your game, then things should go your way.
Let's go.
Thank you.